Hey, this is Julia Burroughs. I'm a swimmer at the University of Tennessee, and this is the No Playbook podcast.
All right. Thank you so much for checking out the show. It's the podcast featuring the outstanding athletes, coaches, and experts from East Tennessee. My name's Casey, and joining me on the show today is Tennessee swimmer Julia Burroughs, another Blount County athlete. Julia is a fellow Maryvillian. She went to Maryville High School, as did I. I've mentioned that many times on the show. She joins the podcast to talk about her recruiting process to UT, just what it's like training as an SEC swimmer, and she shares something that very few people know about her. Gotta say thank you so much to one of our new sponsors on the podcast, Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center. It's right there where Kingston Pike meets Mississippi, and it's kind of fitting as I've got a UT swimmer on the show. Two former Tennessee swimmers actually train swim lesson at Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center, and there's two guys that are going to be swimming in the Olympics later this month. One of the guys from Bulgaria, the other from Brazil. It's a very cool story. I'm hoping to get both of those guys on the podcast, as a matter of fact. But so many great opportunities there at Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center. If you're a swimmer, if you're a tennis player, or just a young family that's wanting to stay healthy. Also sponsored by D1 Training, the place for the athlete. Brand new facility in Blount County, by the way. It's there in Louisville. I'll get to Julia Burroughs right after this. Sit tight.
Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center has the key for you to be happy, healthy, strong, and more in 2024. The outdoor pool is finally open, and of course, our indoor pool is open year-round. We have all the strength and cardio equipment you could want, basketball and racquetball courts, indoor and outdoor tennis, and of course, pickleball, plus about 85 group fitness classes that take place every week, including my absolute favorite, Sprint. And parents, Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center has complimentary childcare with a family membership. There's also swim and tennis lessons for adults and kids. Month to month with no long-term contracts. It's time to get your summer look started at Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center. Kingston Pike at Pellissippi Parkway. You can call 531-5000. That's 531-5000, or visit fshfc.com for Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center.
D1 Training is the place for the athlete, and we've got a brand new facility about to open in Blount County. With classes starting as young as 7 years old, D1 can help everyone take their game to the next level. Our 5-star training system comes straight from Division I strength and conditioning programs. At D1, we offer personal training, team training, youth development programs, adult boot camp classes, and much more. Learn more about D1 Hardin Valley and our introductory founders rate for the new Blount County facility by following us on social media and visiting d1training.com.
Good. Always great to talk to a fellow Maryville alum.
Yes.
When did you graduate from Maryville High School?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a few years. It feels like yesterday, but
You said that you did not have Coach Feather.
no, I didn't have him personally, but like I would pop into his classroom and stuff, and yeah, he was fun.
Yeah. So
Funny guy.
what's going on this summer? Like off-season training? Is there a lot going on with you guys?
Yeah, so well actually we just kind of finished up, or I did just finished up my my season. Olympic trials was last Saturday is when I competed. So that just finished up, and so I'm kind of in off season, but there's never really an off season for swimming. We're like all year round. This is like the longest I've ever been, I guess, given off since probably I was like 12. So in terms of like off-season training and stuff, I'm just kind of like taking about like 2 weeks off right now since trials just ended, and then I'll get back into it and be ready we start back on the first day of school is when we start training. And so I'll just be in shape for that. So
Is there any like weight training, or is it just everything is just in the pool?
no, we are in the weight room 3 to 4 times a week.
Got it.
Yeah. So
What's your favorite workout exercise in the weight room?
so I would this would not have been it 2 years ago, but right now it's pull-ups just because I finally figured out how to like be good at them. And like that was something in growing up that I just could not ever do. And so I finally have like gotten the hang of it, and I love that. And I love lower body like squats and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
those are my favorites right now.
And with the pull-ups, it's probably easy to feel the that muscle growth and how it's able to help you, pull in the water.
100%. And I think that's why I like it so much, because it's like I can feel the strength in the weight room, and I can also feel that payoff like in the pool. So I think that like makes the swimming easier.
Right, right. It makes it easier to get through a workout when you can feel how it's helping you in your sport.
Right. 100%.
So you mentioned Olympic trials. Tell me about that whole process.
Yeah, so it was probably actually the coolest thing I've ever experienced swimming wise in my life so far. They turned the Colt Stadium into a pool, like an Olympic sized pool. So that was like just a super cool like atmosphere. But that started the 15th of June. So we transitioned from NCAA's to Olympic trial training from like March. I would say we started to like really gear towards Olympic trials in April, May is when we started training like long course. Um, and so from there, we've just been training for this meet, and just super cool experience. Swam well, like it was a really fast pool. So it was super fun.
Yeah. Now, for the like non-swimmer, as the Olympics approach, is there just for a general sports fan, like what are the races to watch this Olympics, and who are the big athletes that we should focus on?
Yeah, well, I would for sure say like I feel like everyone kind of knows Katie Ledecky, like she's the staple of swimming for women's swimming. And she's still on the rise, so definitely her. There's some newcomers of like Gretchen Walsh. She just broke a world record in the 100 butterfly, and she didn't make the Olympics 4 years ago, and now she like it's just insane to see her growth. Like Caleb Dressel. Then there's a few like 17-year-olds, super young people on the rise, which will be super cool to watch, because it's actually insane how the sport's grown at such a young age recently. So
17-year-olds headed to the Olympics for swimming. That's
yeah,
pretty intense.
it's crazy.
Um, what about on the men's side?
Yeah, so I would say Caleb Dressel, he's been around for a little bit, so I feel like some people know about him. There's Ryan Murphy, he'll do good. What's his name? Alex, and Alex is the sister, and then Aaron, I think, is the brother. Shackle, he's 17. He's the one I would say to watch out for, because he won like the 200 fly, and um it was just super cool to watch him make the Olympic team. So I would say those people.
Well, now, what about your recruiting experience? Obviously, you're from just right down the road, coming
Right.
to
Yeah.
UT, but were you recruited on a larger scale, I would imagine?
I was. So recruiting starts on June 15th, and for swimming or just for swimming and of your junior year. And that's kind of when coaches are like, you're on it. Like coaches want to be the first one to reach out to you on June 15th, because I guess it makes like the statement bigger. And so I like woke up June 15th and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is the coolest yet most overwhelming experience I've ever had. So yeah, it was definitely like a super cool experience, like just to see the hard work pay off, and like these like all these schools all around the country like are reaching out and wanting to like talk to me and set up phone calls and emails and like they all this kind of stuff. And it was COVID time, so we weren't allowed to go visit in person. So everything was over Zoom, everything was over the phone. So I took a lot of phone calls, and I was like, I have to like get back to everyone. And there was just no way to do that. So I was just like was super overwhelmed with that. But I like sat down and I wrote down the schools that I was like, okay, I could be interested in them, reached out back out to them. And then like you would talk for like 2 or 3 weeks, like every like like once a week. And then I would be able to like eliminate, be like, oh, I'm not vibing with these people, or I don't know about this, like athletically, how like they rank and stuff like that. And then I eliminated it to like 5 schools. And then that's when we had to take unofficials because they weren't offering officials since it was COVID. And they were like, well, so you need to like come out to us and visit us. And I was like, well, I have to do that because I have heard like gut feeling, like you'll know when you're there. The team will take you around and stuff. So I did that with about 5 schools and then kind of just narrowed it down from there. But I
Was
was
there
like,
like a close number 2?
yeah, there were 2 and 3 and 4 were pretty close. But as soon as I stepped onto like Tennessee and went on my visit here, I was like, that's it. Like, I think that's the gut feeling.
Who were some of those other ones?
Um, NC State was the close second, and Kentucky, and Louisville were the 3 that were kind of like tied for second, third, and fourth.
I
So,
guess was proximity to home something that factored?
so actually it's funny because I like going through the whole process, I was like, I'm not going anywhere close to home. Like I'm getting as far away, not as far away as possible, but like I want to get away to like experience more. And I just like was talking to my mom and I was like, I just don't like think I want to be that close to home. Like nothing against you all. I just like want to go out and experience like, like college life. I don't know, like away from home. But as I like kept going through it, I was like, wait a second, like I love everything about Tennessee. I've grown up here. Like why would I really like look for something just to like be away when I have it all here? And it like Matt Credich has made the most amazing program there. And I was able to like grow up with his sons because we swam on the same club team together. And so like I've just known that he's like such an amazing guy since I was young. So like just to be able to like know, like you never know with coaches, especially when you're on a phone call, you're like they can say whatever, but you never know truly like what they're like and how they're gonna handle situations and the hard times and the good times. And I kind of felt like I knew that more about him and how he handles that stuff. So that was just like super comforting to me too.
That's great. That's great that you were able to have that kind of relationship before it even got to that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be at a big swim meet tomorrow. Yeah, the Smoky
Really?
Mountain Invitational.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I am a summer league coach for Peninsula Club. So a bunch of my swimmers will be there.
Okay, great, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with D1 training. We've got a new location in Blount County, and we are sponsoring the meet. So for
Oh,
that, I'm just
nice.
gonna kind of be there. I'm working with them, but also are you familiar with Fort Sanders Health and Fitness Center?
Hmm.
They've got a nice swim complex there. So offer a lot of cool stuff for swimmers. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And I've got a 4-year-old that swims at Green Meadow.
Oh my gosh, my sister swims at Green Meadow. She's 14
Okay.
though. She helps
Okay.
out a little bit, so they might interact.
Yeah, I bet she could beat him. No, he's in like whatever the youngest group is there, but he seems to love swim team.
Oh, that's great. I
Yeah.
swam at Green Meadow for summer league for like 8 years. Loved it. Most like fun I'd have I literally look forward to it all year round.
That's great. Yeah. But he's that kid though that thinks he's faster than everybody. Like when he meets a new person, just talk about even running a race. He's like, I bet I'm faster than you. And I'm like, bro, you're 4. Chill.
Hey, that's a good mentality. Like he's gonna be competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Hey, having 2 older brothers is it's both helped and hurt his personality in some ways. Um, one of the questions I was interested in was swimming in the SEC because in all honesty, I've never been to a big swim meet for college. Is there such a thing as like an advantage for the home team?
100%. I would say so. I would say that like just being in your home pool with your lockers, your team room, your like I mean we train in this pool like 20 plus hours a week. So just like knowing, it sounds silly, like it, like just knowing where the lines are on the bottom of the pool, it can differ from like all pools just like slightly, like just enough to where it can like throw someone off, or just to know like, I don't know, the depth of the pool, just all those kind of things, just like being comfortable in the environment is for sure an advantage.
Interesting. I don't know why I assumed just everything would be super uniform with all of the pools.
They like the most like the standard is, but like all like the locker rooms and like team room and like just having your own nutrition there, all of that stuff like is just so much better when you're at home. Um, but yeah, I would say like we go out and compete wherever, and we try to like, we have a tradition of filling up a water bottle, or not a water bottle, but it's like been passed along for years. They fill it up with our pool water and we dump it into the other pool before we race. And so it's like little traditions like that. And then when we're at home, we also do like a run out where they play a song and we like get really hype in like the back hallway, and then we run out and then we start singing like Rocky Top and stuff. So it's like the like traditional things too
Yeah.
at home are super cool.
But there's no running around the pool, Julia. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah, you got me there.
You gotta do the thing where the
Get a
lifeguard tells
fast
you no
walk.
running. Yeah, yeah. Um, I had Griffin Hadley on the show, and one of the things we talked about is um how in the Olympics, every time the Olympics comes around, I think, why isn't this a more mainstream sport? Because it's so exciting. Now, granted, that was watching Michael Phelps for so long, but those those races, they're not very long and they're super exciting. And I just think like, why is this not a more popular thing? And then I don't think about it again till the next Olympics. But
Right.
anyway, I think those traditions, putting your pool water in there, playing Rocky Top out, I think that would be cool. I'm totally in support of one day having swimming as a mainstream sport where fans are coming out to watch and cheer.
Oh, that would be so much fun if they did. That was like at trials, they broke the record for the most amount of spectators at an event. It was like 23,000, and that's like crazy for swim. Um, so yeah, I like love how much it's growing, but I also think like the meets, like the dual meets get like we get riled up, and they're not very long. They're like an hour or two, like maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3. But yeah, I just like I hope that it like grows more
Yeah.
because it's fun. I mean, obviously I'm can't say anything, but I think it's fun to watch.
Sure. Now, do you have ultimate athletic goals? Like, do you have plans and in place to meet some?
Yeah, so this that like the past long course season was kind of my like last like Olympic try like that, like in terms of like goals in like a broad area for like Olympics and that kind of thing. But for SECs and NCAAs, like we set a huge like goal setting at the beginning of the season. And obviously to I scored at SECs last year, but like to a final and those at that meet would be amazing. And to score in a final at NCAAs, like those are my all-time goals. And then just like being able to like do that to contribute to our team winning a national championship is like my like that's what I want. Like we want it so bad this year, and like I think we have such a good chance like this upcoming year um to do that. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Are there some big sports mentors or swimmers that you've kind of tried to follow your game after?
I mean, yeah, more so when I was like growing up, but I would say like sports mentors now would obviously be like my coaches. I really, really, really like put so much trust into them, and like trust that they like, I mean, they write out our schedule weekly, individualized for each person. And I just think that like if anything, like that's my like mentors on my athletic career. And following people, I kind of like some of the upperclassmen on my team. It sounds like not as big, but I like watch their success and how well they do, and I'm like, okay, that's what I need to be doing. Like, help me get there. And we're like super like cohesive in that environment, and so like some of my best friends, I'm just like I like look up to them because I'm like I want to do what you're doing right now. So how do I get there? And like it's just like those people would I would say would be my like mentors that help me succeed.
Now something everybody's getting on the show lately. Share with me one thing very few people know about you.
Ooh, I feel like I use this one a lot, but I can ride a unicycle.
Oh, fun.
So I definitely use that as my little like fun fact. But
Now, why do you know how to do that?
so my dad was in the circus at Florida State and for like 7 years, coached it for 7 years. Um, and so he just kind of like brought it to Maryville. And there's a unicycling club starts at John Sevier Elementary School, and you can start in 3rd grade. But I wanted to learn before 3rd grade, so I was like 1st grade, I was on a unicycle trying to learn how to do it. My brother did it, so I was like, I got to be better than him. And then intermediate school, there was like a club, so we just like did it for recreational purposes. I was more
Sorry.
embarrassed when I was doing it than I am now. I kind of like to flex that I can do that now.
Yeah. So you went to John Sevier?
Mhm.
Okay. My wife teaches at Foothills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad
Um,
was the PE teacher at John Sevier for a while.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, interesting. I'm sorry. My 4-year-old came in. So I do the show in he's got a small little playroom because
Uh-huh.
the acoustics are the best in this small little room. And I think he didn't know I was in here, so he just came in like, Dad, what are you doing in here? Like,
Already
sorry,
in my
bud.
space.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, beat it, kid. And one unforgettable sports memory that you've got.
I've talked about it a lot so far, but definitely Olympic trials last year in the football stadium. Like never will forget. I will never forget it.
That is so fun the way they are able to turn that, kind of transform the stadium like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just to watch, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but to watch like the time lapse of them building it is so cool.
Well, I bet that would be neat. Yeah.
Yeah, you should look it up. It's really cool. Cast.
Very good. Well, Julia, it has been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank
Uh,
you. You too.
wish you best of luck. And yeah, I'll put this together and have it out probably next week.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Of course, you
See ya.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye.